Alright, welcome to week 6. This week we're going to do random numbers. We're going to see if we can pick some random numbers. Right now we've got a function called random from 2. So I made this thing pretty easy to use. All it is you're going from one number to the other, and you can say, hey, I can go from 1 all the way up to 20. That's my random range. And I made it really flexible, where if you are talking about a decimal, it'll make a decimal for you. And if it's an integer, it'll make an integer for you. So let's start using it. Right here, I made a fish group because why not? And if I make a fish group, all I got to do is say, okay, here's the species, the length, the weight, the age, is it female, etc. So the thing is, I could put 0, but then, I'd just be like, well, now I have to make sure that it's something else later. Because if I don't know, if this were a video game and I were making a bunch of fish on the screen and the length of the fish was 0, I wouldn't be able to see the fish, would I? But it'd be really nifty if I had the computer make random fish for me of random sizes. Probably easier to do it in 2D, but that's not important. Basically, if I want to make something that's random, then I can just use this. So my goal is to get the random numbers from 3 to 20. So if I want the length to be from 3 to 20 inches, somewhere in between there, I'm going to do random from 2, 1 to 20. All right? So that means that there's going to be some decimal that it's going to be from 3 to 20, because I'm trying to get it from 3 to 20. So if I want a random number from 3 to 20, I write random from 2, and I write 3, 20. All languages have this type of function, and I'm trying to make it as easy to understand what's happening as possible. I'm just saying it's a random number from this number to this number. That's all. So let's say I wanted to pick a weight, and fish aren't actually that heavy. They're usually pretty small. Like, even if they're really long, they'll probably be really thin for multiple reasons that you'll probably learn at some point in science. But anyway, so the weight of the fish won't be that big. And so I'm going to do another random from 2. And let's do, it's in pounds, so we're going to do from 1 to 3 pounds, because that's just a good kind of estimate of how big a fish would be. Actually, but this 3 pounds, or this 3-inch fish, might actually be really light, so we're going to put 0.1, 0.1. It can be anywhere from 0.1 to 3. Now, the thing is, I'm not being very fancy. If I ran this code, I could get a fish that is 20 inches long and 0.1 pounds, which doesn't make any sense. But, we're still learning. And that's okay. So next thing I'm going to look at, age, an integer. And again, I made this really easy. So if you just want to pick a random age, just pick a random age from, I don't know, let's do it from 1. And let's put this in months. I don't know. Months kind of makes the most sense. And then some fish live a long time. I don't know. Let's do 60 months. Let's do 50 months, because that just makes more sense to you guys. From 1 month to 50 months. They could be 50 months old. And then, now, I made this true, false, female. Are they a girl fish or a boy fish, basically? So, now the thing is, for a Boolean, it can only be true or false. So I'm going to put this random from 0 to 1. And it's either just going to pick 0 or 1. It could be a girl fish or a boy fish. I don't know. Can only, anyway. And of course, you'll learn in science class that it's a little bit more complicated than this, for especially for fish of certain species. But anyway, that's what we'll go for just for this example, because I needed a Boolean. Anyway, so here's your assignment. Make your own group. Please don't put fish. Please don't put fish. Try to be creative and put 4 random fields. You can make an apple, make it a random size, random weight. You can pick a car with a random top speed. Just something that makes sense. Something that makes sense. It's just you're trying to help the computer make sense of the real world with groups. So, I mean, it doesn't really understand what's happening, but it at least helps the computer approximate reality. So, make something that makes sense. And don't try to make a random string unless you really want to. I'm going to be doing that as an extra challenge for anybody who wants to try. All right, thanks.